Check. Oh, yeah. That's loud. Okay.
Kennedy.
Oh, I'm just testing the speaker.
It's time for the Nathan Brown Show, live from Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway on 106.7 Buzz 2.
Play action, pressure coming, rolling right, throws late, has his man at the 45-50, 45-40. Is he going to go all the way to the end zone? Goodbye, Malachi Henry. Touchdown, Central Arkansas, 62 yards. How about it?
Over the next hour, Coach Brown and Bears broadcaster Justin Acree will recap previous games, highlight outstanding performances, and look ahead at what's next for Central Arkansas football.
Jackson got drilled. It was intercepted. Intercepted and on his feet. And there's that man again, Chris. Nayland Land off the deflection, able to get the interception.
The Nathan Brown Show is presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway and broadcasted live at their location at 955 South Amity Road.
Handoff, Chambers. Touchdown, Central Arkansas, and there it is. For the first time in his career, the redshirt freshman, Landon Chambers, into the end zone for a score.
And it's also brought to you in part by HD Roofing and Construction, Highland Dairy, Moix RV, and Fairfield Inn & Suites.
Looking left, man-to-man, Harley Lee down the sideline, looking for it, and he caught it over the shoulder at the 5. Did he reach it? And he did! Holy cow, what a touchdown! 48 yards, and the first score of the season for Harley Lee.
Now let's head to Walk-Ons and join Nathan Brown and Justin Acree.
Play action this time. Looking for a double move. Going to Malachi Henry. Has him at the 20. At the 15. Touchdown, Central Arkansas. There's your bounce back, Austin Myers. 50-yard strike to Malachi Henry on the double move.
All right, here we go. Welcome in on a Monday night. Special time here tonight from Walk-Ons in Conway. We will be back to our traditional 7 o'clock for the final show next week, and certainly appreciate Coach adjusting on the fly here all season long in the last couple of weeks. And this crossover season with basketball, Coach, makes things tough. But coming off a hard-fought loss at Austin Peay, 41-38, wild game. If it, I've said this a couple of times this year, if you don't have a stake in it, pretty entertaining game. And we had one, kind of on the other end where defense ruled the day at West Georgia a few weeks ago. And this one was an offensive showcase. Really, both teams had their moments, and very entertaining game. And it was kind of like a very back and forth. It was like by quarter.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird game. But anyway, tough one. And a lot of good things came out of it, obviously. And you were going up against a guy that's, I don't know if it's even arguable that he's the best quarterback in the league. And you guys did some good things, some things to build on, but another tough loss on the road here.
Yeah, any loss is hard to deal with, hard to swallow. I mean, you put so much time and effort into it, and our players are working their tails off and putting the energy into practices and meeting times to win football games. It's just we've come up short, a few times this year, and especially in some close games that could have went the other way. You're one bounce away, one play away from coming away with a win on Saturday night. And that's the unfortunate part, but that's the beautiful part about sports as well. I mean, that's why you're a competitor is you live for moments like that and opportunities like that. But here's what I was proud of was, I'm not big on, I'm a competitor. I want to win games. And so moral victories are kind of a gross word to me.
Yeah.
But the response of our team, not only after the week we had at EKU where I felt like we underachieved. Again, they played really well. Give them credit, 2 weeks ago, but to come back, have a great week of practice, to go on the road in a tough environment at Austin Peay and to perform like we did and give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter to win the game. You can't ask much more out of our players and what they did. Obviously, there's a million things we could have done better and would have probably helped the result in our favor. But our guys battled and they competed, and that's what you're looking for when you're at this point in the season.
Yeah, I do want to highlight a couple of guys, and we sat here and talked a little bit last week, and really immediately after the game, you were tough on your quarterback and said he's got to do some things a little bit better. And I would say it was a good bounce back game for Austin, and 19 of 35. 213, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And, under pressure a few times, I thought he did a good job getting the ball out at least and not taking sacks in most cases. There were some times where he was hurried but wasn't sacked. And so how'd you feel about his performance after a tough one against EKU?
Well, he started out really fast. I mean, I don't know. I felt like he completed his first 4 or 5 balls and really had us moving up and down the field. And, an unfortunate turnover on a fumble. Really good run by LC in the second drive of the game, right after we scored on one play on the first drive. You feel like you could have pushed that first quarter out even more, and that was an unfortunate turnover. But as far as Austin goes, I mean, man, he handled the pressure well. That was a pressure-filled defense. I mean, they're talented. They've invested in it. They've got good football players, and I thought when he needed to perform, he did. There's obviously some things in crunch time that we've got to continue to grow upon. And he's kind of immobile right now. I mean, and that hurts our offense a little bit because the mobility is important to be able to move the quarterback and really maybe design some runs in some key situations and do some different things, even in the scramble part of it. But I was proud of his bounce back. He led on Saturday night, did a great job on the sidelines in between series, adjusting on the fly. Put the ball where it needed to be most of the night. Obviously took some big hits. Didn't take any sacks, but took some big hits.
Yeah.
Was pressured throughout the night, but I was pleased with his bounce back performance.
I think about what Parson brings to the table for Austin Peay. And again, he's a Mississippi State transfer, and I'm sure he was highly sought after, and there's reasons why, he's had the success he's had. But I had to think you had to be, licking your chops thinking, man, to have a running quarterback. And again, you've got one who's just not able to go right now. And I wanted to ask you about how much of an element is missing there. And it's been a minute. We've talked about it a few times since the Braylon Smiths, the Hayden Hildebrands have been on campus. How much of that, and we all kind of thought Will might be more of a running quarterback. It didn't really come to fruition. But how much of an element is missing in your offense, do you feel like, with his limited mobility?
Well, it's massive. I mean, it's a huge piece of the puzzle. I look back at just in my experience, some of our best years were with Hayden Hildebrand. Were with guys that can move, that you could design runs to, that you could do zone read stuff with. They could get on the edge, make plays with their feet, scramble, and keep plays alive, similar to what Parsons did the other night several times. But yeah, I mean, it's a massive piece of the puzzle that's really not being tapped into right now. So we've got to be a little more creative. We've got to be a little more creative with our protection schemes and some of the things we're doing with our RPOs and our run game and some of that stuff. The element of getting on the edge and getting the quarterback to use that piece of his tool belt isn't there. And that's nothing. That's not a knock on Austin. Austin's a great athlete. He's just bummed up right now and so I look forward to him continuing to get healthy, and then obviously get as we push forward into the future. This offense is going to tick at a high rate, especially if we can have that element of the quarterback run game. And as much as anything, it adds a gap to the defense's run game. They've got to add a gap to their defense, and when you don't have that and you don't have that element in your offense right now, that'll create some struggle.
Yeah, as you guys have had to deal with that some too. I mean, just having to respect the quarterback run is such a problem for a defense.
Well, and perfect example of that was Saturday night. I mean, it's not arguable. Parsons is the best quarterback in the league. I think he's probably going to be the conference player of the year. I mean, he's, to me, I've seen a lot of football this year at all levels. To me, he's playing at as high a clip as just about anybody in the country, especially at the FCS level. I'll be honest with you. Austin Peay was a 3 or 4 win team last year. They brought him in, and he's turned them into a potential playoff team. I mean, and it's all on him. I mean, he makes that team a lot better. So and we did a good job containing him most of the night, he just was in that fourth quarter, really leaned on his abilities, and you could really tell that he had that he has a lot of poise, and especially in those moments.
Well, Landon Chambers is arguably the best running back in the league, and if he isn't, it's Joshua Dye from Southern Utah, who you're going to face this week. So if you like the run game, it is a spectacular matchup this week out in Utah. And I will say this, too. Southern Utah had just played Austin Peay, and Dye had a big game against him, and Chambers comes back and has a big game against him, and that is not an easy thing to do. Offensive line deserves a lot of credit, and we're going to talk to Will Diggins, preseason all-conference offensive lineman from Bryan, who's a senior here, and a big part of that offensive line. We'll talk to him about Chambers, the run game, protecting their quarterback, and everything else applicable here to the final couple weeks of the season. Bears on the road this week at Southern Utah, and then back home for Senior Day against Abilene Christian. Bears looking forward, hopefully, to playing spoiler the next couple of weeks. And a big opportunity this week out west. We'll come back in a second. We'll visit with Will Diggins. We'll talk more about the performance last week at Austin Peay. And we'll look ahead to that match with the Thunderbirds this week. And it's a late start, 7:30 Central Time on the UCA Radio Network. Back in a moment from Walk-Ons here in Conway.
At Moix RV, customer service isn't just their motto, it's their legacy. Since 1976, they've been dedicated to providing exceptional experiences, not just selling RVs. They hear you. Words are easy, actions speak louder. That's why Moix RV has invested millions in expanding their service bays across Conway, Springdale, and Hot Springs. But service bays are just tools. It's their passionate team that truly makes the difference. Their team isn't just knowledgeable, they're tenured. Visit them today in Conway, Springdale, or Hot Springs, and let's get you rolling.
It's game time at Fairfield Inn and Suites in Conway, located 3 miles from the University of Central Arkansas campus, and they are ready to play ball. Fairfield Inn has been taking care of Bear fans for over a decade now as a proud partner of UCA Athletics, and you can get the UCA rate today by visiting UCAsports.com and clicking the Fairfield Inn and Suites link at the bottom of the page, or call 501-505-8034. Go Bears!
Setting a new workout goal? Post-workout recovery is a lot sweeter when you fuel up with rich, delicious Highland Dairy chocolate milk. Packed with the nutrients you need to re-energize, including protein, calcium, and potassium, chocolate milk is a tasty treat at the end of your hard workout. Find a money-saving coupon at highlanddairy.com/chocolate. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
1 minute left in the break.
HD Roofing and Construction, proud to be Central Arkansas owned and operated, offering free inspections, insurance claims assistance, a huge product selection and the highest standards in Arkansas. Whether it's minor repairs or a full roof replacement for your commercial or residential property, they'll provide you with quality materials, craftsmanship, warranties, and cost-effective solutions. Call today, 501-428-0429, or get a quote at hdarkansas.com. HD Roofing, proud to be the official roofing partner of UCA Athletics.
Last spot of the break, 30 seconds.
Walk-Ons starts every dish from scratch and only uses fresh ingredients to bring their mouth-watering Cajun cuisine to life. Whether you're there for dinner with the family, date night, cocktails with the girls, or to watch the UCA Bears on the big screen, Walk-Ons is always happy to share their Louisiana culture with you. Walk-Ons, game day with a taste of Louisiana.
If you have a question or comment for the head bear, send Justin a message on Twitter at JustinAcree7. Now, back to the Nathan Brown Show, presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway, 955 South Amity Road, on the Buzz Radio Network.
Handoff. Cam Young strolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Central Arkansas. And boy, those two fronts continuing to do work. Give all the love to the offensive and defensive line. The Bears extend their lead 13-3 with the extra point pending.
All right, welcome back here to Walk-Ons in Conway. And I will give a lot of love to the Bears' offensive and defensive lines. Again, we're going to talk to one of the anchors of that offensive line, Will Diggins from Bryant, in a second here, Coach. But, I've been impressed most of the year, and I know the defensive line has had some injury issues you guys have dealt with. You've been a little thinner up front than you anticipated coming into the season. But not only has the offensive line consistently been solid, if not impressive, they have been there every week. What's the best ability in the world and availability, right? You guys have been able to keep your fellas healthy up front, which is impressive too.
Yeah, we've been fortunate on the offensive line to stay relatively healthy. That doesn't mean that they feel good, and that's a tough position to play, and especially when you're a guy like that's sitting next to me, like Will Diggins, who's done it for 4 years. I mean, if you don't have bent fingers by the end of this, you probably don't play a lot of football. But man, I've been pleased with those guys. They work their tails off. They're a great unit. They come together. They just got to have a good rapport with one another. And bottom line is we knew a guy like Will and Jamal and some of those guys that have played a lot of football. We knew we could ride those guys, and obviously in the run game they've been phenomenal. And Landon would be the first one to tell you his success would not happen without those guys up front.
Well, Will, appreciate you coming out tonight. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You just played your 40th game as a Bear. I don't know if you realize that. Do you feel like you played 40 games this season, or you feel okay?
Nah, I don't feel like I've played 40 games this season, but playing 40 games in my career, it's kind of crazy.
It is pretty wild.
Kind of fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure it has. I mean, It probably feels that way. So let's go back to the beginning for you. How you ended up here. Why was Central Arkansas the decision? I feel like so much has happened since you got on campus. It was so long ago.
Going through the recruitment process, of course, I had other teams that were trying to get at me. But, Coach Brown made the trip to my house several times. The offensive staff came down with him. We just all bonded. And, at the end of the day, it's about relationships. And other schools, of course, they tell you that, oh, you come here, you can play this, that, and the third. But Coach Brown sat me down in his office. He looked me in my eyes like the first time that I came on junior day, and he was like, "You're our number one pick for the O-line for this recruiting class." And that stuck with me the whole process. And so when I was coming down to my last few schools, I was like, this is where I could call home. It's 40 minutes down the road from where I'm from. So if my parents, because he knows my parents too, so he knows if anything happened, they're going to be down here.
Yeah.
So I just knew just coming down 40 minutes down the road that it's close to my family, but far enough to where I can have my own personal space.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about how, you talk about pipelines, and obviously Bryant has become one over the last several years. And Coach, we almost need to get like a mass transit speed train to Bryant so you can get guys back and forth.
I promise you we do.
But that's obviously been a hot recruiting spot for you over the last couple of years.
It has, and it goes back to, Will was a guy that, he's seen a lot of his former teammates come and play, and he had some teammates prior to him here. And Bryant's just a unique setting. And Coach Buck James was there, and he was his high school coach. And obviously he's now here at Conway and doing what he's doing and doing great things in our community. But Will was one of those guys when we went over there to recruit. Buck's one of those guys that will be honest with you. I mean, he'll tell you straight up what he thinks about somebody. Whether it's politically correct or you want to hear what it is, he's going to tell you. And he said, look, I'm going to tell you this. If y'all can get Will Diggins on your roster, you are getting a steal. He thought he was a Power 4 talented kid. If he was 2-3 inches taller, I mean, he probably could have named his price and went anywhere he wanted. But he wasn't. And so we took advantage of it. He had some bigger offers and some other stuff. But I think, again, it goes back to getting to know the person, getting to know the family. His mom and dad are unbelievable, and they will come down here and put him in put him in the headlock if he ever was an issue. But man, that just a special young man and someone we've built around for the last couple of years.
Well, you've been able to block for some fantastic running backs. I mean, some of the best that have ever played here over the years. Yeah. But really what we're seeing happen with Chambers this year has been not quite unprecedented, but pretty close. I mean, we're talking about 700-yard games in a row, and in this league, that is no easy task. And the non-com wasn't exactly easy. Yeah. You guys have lived on the road this year, and he's had 800-yard games overall. I don't want to ask you to compare and contrast, but kind of give me your feel on him because you've seen some really good dudes back there over the years.
So the first time I got to meet Landon, I mean, y'all have been covering my career, so we played Oklahoma State my sophomore year, and I had got hurt in the game. And he had got hurt the week prior during the scrimmage, so we were just in the training room together. And I like to joke with the young guy because he was a freshman, so I just like to joke and take him under my wing. But I could just tell from, just getting to know him and vibe with him that he was going to be, once he got his opportunity, he wasn't going to let it go away. So just being that dog that he was, and then seeing him once we had a couple running back leave, and we still had Sunday and Darius, but when they went down, just seeing him get in the game and make those plays that were needed to keep us in the game, I knew, going into this year when he's the number one back, he gonna be able to get it done.
Yeah. Well, what is it about his game? What do you think stands out about the way he runs it?
I don't feel like nobody can tackle him one-on-one. I've been saying that even last year we played EKU and he took a wide zone and bounced off a D lineman and bounced off a linebacker and just kept running. And so, I mean, y'all saw there was a couple runs this week where he bounced off some people. I didn't know that he was gonna start hurting people this year. I seen him do it in spring ball, but I was like, Landon, don't do that no more.
Yeah.
But it works for him. But
Yeah.
I like the way he runs the ball. He runs hard. And, he gives us the opportunity once he gets second level. If he gets hit and there's 2-3 people on him, he gives us the opportunity to go behind him and push him forward.
Yeah, the 53-yarder was as good a run as we're going to see all year, and it might have only been his second best run of the night the other night. The double pirouette in the backfield where he spun around a couple of guys and broke tackles and then got upfield. It was about the most impressive 10-yard run I've ever seen in my life. It was pretty amazing. So, and he's not the only one, and it's interesting. Different guys bring different things, and Chapman's been a nice pickup, obviously. Cam Young, when he's healthy, is fantastic. He got a touchdown the other night. And then, we saw Washington's speed. He got around to the edge the other night, and, I mean, they couldn't keep up with him. So, I mean, what a nice deal for you guys. I mean, it's the riches you guys have at running back.
Yeah. When we were here in the spring, I had been saying, I wanted to see Landon run the ball. I mean, obviously, I knew what he can do. And just being able to see Chap for those 2 weeks before he had got injured, I was like, all right, Chap can run the ball and just letting Cam run with us. I knew it. And then when Jalen came in the fall, I didn't really know what he was gonna do because coming from some FBS guys tend to come down and just think they're bigger than the program.
Yeah.
But he fit right in with them and us. And when he was getting behind us, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna compare him to Shundee because that's some big shoes to fill.
Right.
But I was like, he's showing a little bit of flashes of Shundee.
Yeah.
With the speed and the power. So I was like, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And just having 4 guys that if coach wants to, you can put anybody out there and just be like, we need y'all to go ice the game, get us the first down.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Chapman McCown, I don't think he's ever going to pretend that he's bigger than anybody or anything. But he's darn effective. That's the good thing. So let me ask you about your senior year and your thoughts, I guess, the last couple of weeks. I've been very impressed, and it's obviously been kind of a tough luck year.
Yeah.
This weekend was a good microcosm, I think, of what we've seen this year. A 1-point loss, a 3-point loss earlier in the year to Lamar. But also, I don't know that you guys are even as close as you would be or have been in some of these games if you don't get Austin back. Something clicked immediately. Third drive, Lamar, the whole season changed. And I realized that the wins have not piled up like we had hoped. But from your perspective, tell me what was different, because not only did the offense respond differently when he entered the game, the defense seemed to pick up the pace a little bit as well.
I really don't know what the difference was. I think that we came to the sideline after that second drive, and us as the O-line, we were like, we got to protect better. We know that the week before we had a good game in the run game, but to us, giving up that many sacks against Sac State, that was unacceptable. So we came together and was like, we got to put something together. Like, we're putting the ball, they're getting the ball on the plus 30, like putting our defense in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And honestly, we didn't know Austin was going in. We went onto the field, and I looked behind me, and me and Austin are really good friends off the field. So he goes up and he says, Will, I'm not coming back out. And so we just drove down the field, and he threw the first touchdown. I was like, all right, this the Austin that – because we, of course, like our rooms at Stadium Park are not that far from each other. So we'll walk over there and just talk about what it would look like if we're all on the field at the same time. And he was just like, when I throw that first touchdown, I just want y'all to be ready because I'm it's never going back.
Yeah.
So we were just joking, and he just like, it's time, Will. And I was like, bet. So I just feel like, no shade to Luther, but I just feel like Austin, being here for 3 years, I feel like he was a very well-respected guy in the locker room. So I just feel like once he showed that he can go out there and move the ball like that, like he was in spring ball, then we all were like, okay, like we got our quarterback, so we know what we're about to do. And once we added on to being able to pass the ball efficiently and effectively, on top of being able to run the ball, we were like, all right, we're going to have a good team.
We're going to hold it for 1 second here. I want to ask you a couple more things about kind of where you guys are now. I mean, you're sitting at 3-7. I was very impressed with the fight you guys came out with. I mean, you guys could have been, 6-3 coming out in that game and playing for like your 7th win. Like how do you guys just? I mean, is it just competitive? I mean, is that just who you guys are? I mean, for you, it's last go round. I mean, I would think it's easy, but I mean, you guys are really showing some great fight for a team that obviously playoffs are out of reach.
Yeah. For me personally, I'm a competitor. I hate to lose, and I'm pretty sure Coach will tell you the same thing. I don't like losing. So just going out there and just fighting to try to win every game. And like I said last year, I like it. After we lost to EKU, I kind of figured like playoffs were out of reach. So what I was just telling the guys was, I mean, we're going to go down swinging. Let's go down swinging. If we can't make the playoffs, y'all can't make the playoffs either. And me and Jamal were trying to feature the team because, he's from Clarksville, and we really don't like Austin Peay. So we were just like, we're going to go ahead and spoil their season.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to spoil Southern Utah season. And then Abilene going to come down here feeling themselves because they got one loss in conference. We're going to go ahead and spoil their season.
Yeah.
And just go out with a bang for senior year. But, of course, we didn't beat Austin Peay, but we still got 2 chances to spoil Southern Utah's playoffs hopes and Abilene.
Yes. Well, there's an old song by a great rocker. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, I think is how the song goes. So let's get the next 2. That'd be good.
Yes,
what are you going to do after school's over?
Well, after this semester, I plan on training and get ready for the next level.
Yeah.
See how that goes. If the Lord blesses me with the opportunity to play in the league, I'll do that. If not, I'll come back and start getting into coaching.
Okay. I like that. Very good. Well, cool. Well, good luck this week. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. Will Diggins. That's a Bear through and through right there. Let's take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we will talk to Jacoby Shell, who's been a great addition on the defensive line, Arkansas native, much like Will, and we'll talk to him in a second. Stick around.
It's game time at Fairfield Inn and Suites in Conway, located 3 miles from the University of Central Arkansas campus, and they are ready to play ball. Fairfield Inn has been taking care of Bear fans for over a decade now as a proud partner of UCA Athletics, and you can get the UCA rate today by visiting UCAsports.com and clicking the Fairfield Inn and Suites link at the bottom of the page, or call 501-505-8034. Go Bears!
Setting a new workout goal? Post-workout recovery is a lot sweeter when you fuel up with rich, delicious Highland Dairy chocolate milk. Packed with the nutrients you need to re-energize, including protein, calcium, and potassium, chocolate milk is a tasty treat at the end of your hard workout. Find a money-saving coupon at highlanddairy.com/chocolate. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
HD Roofing and Construction, proud to be Central Arkansas owned and operated, offering free inspections, insurance claims assistance, a huge product selection, and the highest standards in Arkansas. Whether it's minor repairs or a full roof replacement for your commercial or residential property, they'll provide you with quality materials, craftsmanship, warranties, and cost-effective solutions. Call today, 501-428-0429, or get a quote at hdarkansas.com. HD Roofing, proud to be the official roofing partner of UCA Athletics. Family owned and operated since 1976, Moix RV represents the finest recreational vehicle manufacturers at clear see-through prices. This means no prep fees, no additional freight, free battery, free propane, and comprehensive free training on your new camper. And Moix RV is home to Camp Moix, a free camping club organizing events throughout the year. All of these things show Moix's commitment to being a customer service company that happens to sell RVs. 1213 Collier Drive in Conway, and let us show you true value.
Last spot in the break, 30 seconds, and a legal ID.
Starts every dish from scratch and only uses fresh ingredients to bring their mouth-watering Cajun cuisine to life. Whether you're there for dinner with the family, date night, cocktails with the girls, or to watch the UCA Bears on the big screen, Walk-Ons is always happy to share their Louisiana culture with you. Walk-Ons, game day with a taste of Louisiana.
106.7 Buzz 2. Now, you won't miss a thing. KBZU Little Rock.
You're listening to The Nathan Brown Show, presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway, where everything is made from scratch, bringing Cajun cuisine to life. Now, back to Coach Brown and Justin on the Buzz Radio Network.
Going to throw here. And the Bears get there, and they pop the ball out. The ball is loose, and I think Dalen Land don't want it. The Bears have been wanting and needing a turnover, and they may have just gotten it. Dalen Land's got it. It is Central Arkansas football, and there's the mistake they needed. Parson hit from behind. He coughed it up, and the Bears dove on it. What a play by that defense.
All right, welcome back into Walk-Ons here in Conway, and I appreciate you joining us tonight. Special time here for the Nathan Brown Show. We got about 30 minutes left or so. And we are going to be back again to our normal time next week. And, Coach, that the defense with a big spark there, and you got a turnover on special teams as well. This is the first time all year you guys were even up in the turnover department. Been on the wrong side of that too often this year, but it was good to see that happen, and I think that really helped kind of spark the comeback. And, boy, you guys really kind of seized control there in the third quarter.
Yeah, both turnovers are massive, obviously, and you know, both teams converted off of the opposing team's turnovers, but they got a field goal as opposed to 2 touchdowns. We won that area 14-10. So it's not about getting the turnover. It's about, you know, capitalizing off turnovers. And so we did a good job on offense doing that. The clip that just played, I think we went that was the Tyrell Pollard 1-play touchdown, 50-yard pass or whatever it was. You know, took a shot right after that, and obviously Austin made a great pass to TP, and he got in the end zone. So, man, you try to take advantage of those, and obviously you try to be opportunistic when you can on defense. And it's just been a bug for us this year. Just hadn't. I mean, we can't buy a tip ball. I mean, I haven't gone a season where you hadn't got a tip and it just lands in your lap or something. It's been a really weird deal with that on defense and turnovers. But look, we got 2 more games. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get a few this weekend.
That'd be nice. Talking to Jacoby Shell tonight. He is Forest City native, Henderson State transfer, one of a couple of guys on that defensive line. And thank goodness that those guys transferred in with some of the injuries you guys have had up front, Coach. But 34 tackles on the year, 5.5 tackles for loss. Had a 5-tackle day against Austin Peay. Jacoby, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. How you holding up this first year in Division I?
Man, it's been really interesting, but I don't really loved every second of it, honestly.
Yep. Well, Coach, you've obviously had some success mining the Division II ranks, especially from in-state guys and moving up. Jacoby, how much was David Walker's story, I guess, inspiring for you, or if at all?
I've known about David quite a bit of time, and he's really been kind of a big brother type deal. You know, me and him, we trained throughout the summer, and he helped me out a lot. So yeah, he's been really cool, man. Just to see him and see his stories.
What's been the biggest difference for you moving up from Division II to Division I?
Truly, I say it's really like the size and speed of the game. It's been a little faster. People a little bigger. People are stronger. But that's really about it.
Yeah. So why Central Arkansas? What was the fit for you?
Honestly, Coach Brown, Coach Davis, they've been trying to recruit me for a long time, and I've been telling them no for a minute. But when I hopped in the portal this time, I talked to Coach Davis, and you know he's really a great guy, great coach, and I just really wanted to play for him. And him and Coach Brown, they seem like real, true, genuine people. So that had a lot to do with my decision. Honestly,
we've been recruiting him since he was out of high school.
Yeah.
Let's go way back.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it made sense now.
Yes,
certainly we're happy to have you now. That's for sure. But we were talking to Will earlier. He said he does not like Austin Peay. This is your first year. Have you found some teams that you don't like? I mean, you got some rivalries that are building for you.
I'll say West Georgia for me.
Okay,
that's the one team. Like their O-line, West Georgia. I probably don't like them the most out here.
Yeah, were they talking some noise?
Yes.
Okay.
A whole lot.
Well, you held them down almost the entire day, and they hit a couple of passes late, but for the most part, I thought you guys did a great job against them. I would say advantage Bears in that matchup. So looking forward to that rematch next year for sure. How frustrating has it been for you on these near misses? I mean, you guys have been so close in a few games, and it could have really completely changed the way the season feels right now.
Yeah, it's been a few games. I'll say about 3-4 games that we could have easily won. But, you know, you really just can't be frustrated. You just got to, live with your mistakes. Defense, we done made some mistakes and crucial points. And you really just can't be mad. You just got to go back to the board and just shake it back from it, honestly.
Yeah. How about Forest City? I mean, you got family comes in. I mean, you get a bunch of people at the games every week.
Yeah, so they make that trip a lot. They make it a lot, especially.
I mean, we do occasionally play home games. I mean, this has been a weird year, I know, but
we play more than this normally.
Yes, but you get some folks over here.
Yes, sir. They came to just about every home game this year.
That's awesome.
We have had.
Okay, what was high school like for you?
High school for me, not gonna lie, I didn't win that much, so I just I just went out there and I just played for the love of the game, honestly, trying to get to college, trying to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Just honestly, just being like an underdog, really.
Is it hard for you to get motivated with the playoffs out of sight or not?
No, like I said, high school, we didn't win that much. So, like, I really got used to just playing just for the love of the game, just being a competitor. Like, either you like football or you don't.
Have you learned to hate losing?
Yes.
Okay, you got that part down. What about academically? What are you studying up here?
I'm a nutrition major. I really got emphasis on nutrition.
Okay. Let me ask you about Gary, too. I know you guys came up together.
Yes,
so
sir.
how was that? Were there a lot of conversations about, hey, let's go together? Or was like he's being recruited, you were being recruited, and you're like, oh, I guess we're both going to end up at UCA?
I definitely say that was a group decision. Me and him both said that we want to come here and play together and everything. That's my dog right there. That's my roommate. You know, we spend a lot of time with each other. And, yeah, he definitely had a factor in me coming.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad you guys both came, and you guys have served as good bookends for the Bears this year. That's for sure. Hope you meet at the quarterback a bunch this weekend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck this week. That's Jacoby Schelt from Forest City, Arkansas, and looking forward to a whole lot of wins with Jacoby on that defensive line over the next couple of seasons, and hopefully this week it starts in Southern Utah. We're back in a second. Nathan Brown Show continues after this.
It's game time at Fairfield Inn and Suites in Conway, located 3 miles from the University of Central Arkansas campus, and they are ready to play ball. Fairfield Inn has been taking care of Bear fans for over a decade now as a proud partner of UCA Athletics, and you can get the UCA rate today by visiting UCAsports.com and clicking the Fairfield Inn and Suites link at the bottom of the page, or call 501-505-8034. Go Bears!
Setting a new workout goal? Post-workout recovery is a lot sweeter when you fuel up with rich, delicious Highland Dairy chocolate milk. Packed with the nutrients you need to re-energize, including protein, calcium, and potassium, chocolate milk is a tasty treat at the end of your hard workout. Find a money-saving coupon at highlanddairy.com/chocolate. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
At Moix RV, customer service isn't just their motto, it's their legacy. Since 1976, they've been dedicated to providing exceptional experiences, not just selling RVs. They hear you. Words are easy, actions speak louder. That's why Moix RV has invested millions in expanding their service bays across Conway, Springdale, and Hot Springs. But service bays are just tools. It's their passionate team that truly makes the difference. Their team isn't just knowledgeable, they're tenured. Visit them today in Conway, Springdale, or Hot Springs, and let's get you rolling.
1 minute to the end of the break. 1 minute.
Walk-Ons starts every dish from scratch and only uses fresh ingredients to bring their mouth-watering Cajun cuisine to life. Whether you're there for dinner with the family, date night, cocktails with the girls, or to watch the UCA Bears on the big screen, Walk-Ons is always happy to share their Louisiana culture with you. Walk-Ons, game day with a taste of Louisiana.
Last spot on the break here at 30 seconds.
HD Roofing and Construction, proud to be Central Arkansas owned and operated, offering free inspections, insurance claims assistance, a huge product selection and the highest standards in Arkansas. Whether it's minor repairs or a full roof replacement for your commercial or residential property, they'll provide you with quality materials, craftsmanship, warranties, and cost-effective solutions. Call today, 501-428-0429, or get a quote at hdarkansas.com. HD Roofing, proud to be the official roofing partner of UCA Athletics.
Go purple, go gray, go UCA. You're listening to the Nathan Brown Show on the Buzz Radio Network, coming to you live from Walk-On Sports Bistreaux in Conway. A great place to take the family or catch the game. Now, back to Coach Brown and Justin.
This is setting up for a deep ball, in my opinion. Play action. It is. Myers going for it all. Wants it to the end zone. It gets man-to-man. Pollard. Touchdown! Central Arkansas, you betcha. 44 on the quick change. Give it to me. That's 6. Everything was indicating big ball, and they still couldn't stop it. Pollard, the best in the business at the big ball catch.
All right, welcome back here to Walk-Ons in Conway. Coach Brown, that was a fun one. And I said this later in the broadcast, you have made it sort of a signature, and you're not the only program that does it, but on the quick change, you guys are in attack mode immediately, and you guys have done a great job of taking advantage. So I saw Kosmeyer come to the blind side and set up over there to protect. I'm like, we got a deep ball shaping up here, and Pollard does his thing, and a beautiful ball by Austin Myers delivered right on time.
Yeah, I've probably like most, I've got a spot on my call sheet that are shot plays, and obviously there's certain points in time on the field and maybe moments in the game that those shot plays are at least structured to be called. And so, anytime you get a sudden change, I mean, that's a great opportunity to take a shot. We tempo and take shots as well throughout a drive, but when you can set yourself up with a one-on-one based on formation and some movement and some different things, we feel like some of those wide receivers we have a chance to make plays down the field in one-on-one situations. Obviously, Tyrell Pollard's done that all year.
No doubt. Well, one play, 50 yards. We already heard that one. That was off the top after and we didn't even talk about that. We talked about turnovers, but you also had a turnover on downs early in the game. Really set the tone early. How good did that feel to kind of get off on the right foot?
Well, that was huge, and just because of the caliber of offense that Austin Peay had, right? The first drive, you don't want to give them any momentum, and then to get that stop and then obviously turn that right back around as if it's a turnover, right? I mean, that's kind of the way that works. A fourth down stop should be considered a turnover in my opinion, but it isn't. And taking a shot down the field to Malachi on that play, and that was big to get the game started right.
Absolutely. Wanted to ask you too. I mean, I got it from Will a little bit there, but Chambers, coach, I guess, kind of put in perspective what he's doing. The consistency, and again, the offensive line deserves a lot of credit. But man, he's a very special running back, and you knew that early on. You guys have fed him, but heck, the other night it didn't take a lot of carries to get to 100 against that defense. 7th in a row, 8 out of 10. Just a remarkable effort from a sophomore running back.
Yeah, he's special. There's no question about it that Landon is one of the best running backs we've had in the Division I era. I've seen them all. I've played with really good ones. I've coached really good ones. His unique ability to run violently. He runs, for lack of a better term, he runs pissed off. I mean, he just, Coach Collins used to say you need great running backs leave an F1 tornado behind them. I mean, it just looks like carnage, and that's what Landon does a lot. And so, he's a kid that just understands the game, understands how to set up his blocks, and does a great job of that. And obviously, some of the physical traits he has is just God-given, and he's made the most of it.
Some of those shot plays, Coach, will limit your number of plays that you get to run. 64 plays to their 82. That was something that was even a bigger gap, I think, earlier in the game. You still get over 400 yards on those 64 plays, and you average nearly 7 yards a carry, which I didn't go back and look, but that's got to be a season high, I would think. Maybe the Pine Bluff game, but, I mean, you guys had a remarkable day running the football against the team that had hung its hat on stopping the run this year. They were a top 20 run defense. And I do want to mention, too, not only is Landon, by the way, for those who are not keeping up, one of the top running backs in the nation. He's 5th in the FCS with 1,136 yards. He's top 10 in yards per game, 113.6. But on the passing game, Malachi Henry is now number 1 in the conference, 59 catches, 706 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And he got his third 9-reception game on Saturday. Unfortunately, all 3 of those 9-reception games have come in losses. Maybe get him a 10-reception game this week and a win or something. But he's pretty special too, Coach.
Yeah, Malachi is unique. He's a kid that obviously had a great redshirt freshman year, was Jerry Rice Award finalist last year. Was freshman of the year in the nation. What separates guys like Landon Chambers, guys like Malachi Henry, the 2 young men that we spoke to tonight, Jacoby Shell and Will Diggins, is they're just so solid. They're good kids. They're competitors. But man, when you sit down and talk to them, you're like, man, I don't even know that this kid's a football player. They're just good human beings. And so when you're grounded, when you handle life correctly, usually success follows. I don't care what it is, right? And so Malachi Henry's a great example of that. He's been raised right, unbelievable parents. Dad's the head coach at Van Buren High School. He was a coach's son. He was raised around the game, just gets it. And then he's just got some great God-given talent to really – and what separates him, Justin, is this. That like I've had great receivers, a lot of them. You've seen them. But tell me you've seen a receiver line up in more spots than Malachi Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's inside, he's outside, he's in the backfield. And why can you do that? He's smart. He's football smart. He understands what everybody does on every play. And not that we haven't had receivers and different guys that were smart, but it takes an art to be able to do that. And Malachi has that. And that's what separates him. And that's why you're able to get him a lot of catches and a lot of touches.
want to ask you about one thing on the defense, one negative thing. You guys have really hung your hat the last few years, and David Walker was a big part of that, obviously. You've had some other great linemen he's worked with. And I know you've been thin up front, but the negative play creation has not been there maybe at the same rate as we're used to seeing. Some of that may be the offenses you faced, and some of that may be, different scheme. I don't know, but I was just curious about that and how much easier life seems to be when you've got teams behind the sticks, Coach. And 103rd in sacks with 13, which is a very low number for this program. TFL a little bit more competitive, nationally as far as that goes. You guys created 4 tackles for loss the other day, but what do you attribute that to?
I think a lot of it's depth, and you kind of alluded to it. I mean, just when you get in the third and fourth quarter and guys like Jacoby Shell are having to play 65 snaps a game, I mean, that's hard. I mean, when you're leaning on a 300-pound tackle the whole game and you don't have a ton of depth behind you to give you breaks, it's hard to be explosive. It's hard to be fresh. It's hard to pin your ears back and make plays during that time. So what we've got to do here in a couple of weeks when we turn the page to the offseason, we've got to do a great job getting on the recruiting trail. We've got to pinpoint talent to go along with guys like Jacoby, guys like Carmelo Allen, these young talented guys. But they got to have help. They've got to have guys behind them that can come and impact the game so that you feel comfortable, taking them out, right? So I think that has a lot to do with it, especially the sack total. Because I mean, like when Gary Lewis and Jacoby are having to play so many snaps, I look back to the West Georgia game. We needed 1 sack. That's what we needed in that game, right? Even the other night on one of those drives, 1 sack. Well, those guys have been playing every snap basically since the first quarter. So we've had some injuries. It'd be nice to have Buck Cobb back. It'd be nice to have Noah Tice. It'd be nice to have some of these guys that are out with injuries that haven't played and all that stuff. So, but we have to add quality depth to give those guys a chance. And I think that's the biggest factor in some of that negative play creating that hasn't happened this year.
I did want to tip my cap, too, to Travion Traylor. He was a wrecking crew the other day.
Playing great.
10 tackles the other night, 1.5 tackles for loss. Phenomenal performance the other night. And Gary Lewis had I think that's a career high for him with 10 tackles the other night. 3 highlights on special teams, and we're actually going to listen to one of these. Number one.
The Bears will punt.
No, not yet. Sorry, Todd. Number one, I wanted to give tip of the cap to Caleb Jones. Now alone in the nation, the number 1 kicker in the country, the only kicker at 100% with at least 10 attempts. He is 10 of 10 after his field goal the other night. He had all of his PATs as well. Beard continues to be a real bright spot. 43 yards per punt, including 1 beautiful high-hanging punt that ended up resulting in a muff that was recovered by a young man that I want to highlight here. He was our special teams player of the week this week. Had a nice tackle on special teams. I don't know how they let that dude get down there so fast or how he does it, but he was in the right place, right time on this one, recovering it. We're talking about Gavin Smith.
Yeah, and
so the Bears will punt it away.
Sorry.
Bond is waiting on it. Another hammered punt by Beard, who's Mr. Consistent. And Bond dropped it. The Bears got it. It went right off his legs and into the Bears' hands, and they got it. And there's their man making the play again, Gavin Smith. I talked about him getting down there earlier today, and he does such a good job getting down there to cover punts, and that time he got himself a recovery. Bear football.
Let me ask you a rule. Why can't you advance that? Why in football for years, it's a muff fumbled punt, and you can't – he would have scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, it landed right in his lap. I mean, 20 yards, touchdown. What a moment that would have been. But I don't understand why you can't advance a muff punt.
I don't know.
I've always wondered that.
Well, I asked you at the beginning of the season what rules you want to change. We'll put that on the list.
It. I think that
might have been it.
I think I might have said
substitution
that.
You were mad about too the other day.
That is ridiculous. Yeah,
we got to clean that up.
Don't get me started on that.
Well, they did lose a timeout on some injuries. I've never seen so many injuries.
They were pretty consistent at that.
Yes, I've never seen so many injuries by a team. And air quotes again. I'm sure there were some guys that were legitimately injured, but that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think every one of them came back in the game. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. We'll move on. When we come back, we will look ahead. Southern Utah up next, heading to Cedar City. Bears fly out Friday morning. The game is late Saturday night. We'll get back, sometime Sunday. We're looking forward to an opportunity to get another win. So here we go. We'll take it into the break and come back, and we'll talk a little more about the Thunderbirds on the other side. Stick around. It's the Nathan Brown Show on Buzz 2 106.7.
It's game time at Fairfield Inn and Suites in Conway, located 3 miles from the University of Central Arkansas campus, and they are ready to play ball. Fairfield Inn has been taking care of Bear fans for over a decade now as a proud partner of UCA Athletics, and you can get the UCA rate today by visiting UCAsports.com and clicking the Fairfield Inn and Suites link at the bottom of the page, or call 501-505-8034. Go Bears!
Setting a new workout goal? Post-workout recovery is a lot sweeter when you fuel up with rich, delicious Highland Dairy chocolate milk. Packed with the nutrients you need to re-energize, including protein, calcium, and potassium, chocolate milk is a tasty treat at the end of your hard workout. Find a money-saving coupon at highlanddairy.com/chocolate. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
Family owned and operated since 1976, Moix RV represents the finest recreational vehicle manufacturers at clear see-through prices. This means no prep fees, no additional freight, free battery, free propane, and comprehensive free training on your new camper. And Moix RV is home to Camp Moix, a free camping club organizing events throughout the year. All of these things show Moix's commitment to being a customer service company that happens to sell RVs. 1213 Collier Drive in Conway, and let us show you true value.
1 minute left in the break. 1 minute.
Walk-Ons starts every dish from scratch and only uses fresh ingredients to bring their mouth-watering Cajun cuisine to life. Whether you're there for dinner with the family, date night, cocktails with the girls, or to watch the UCA Bears on the big screen, Walk-Ons is always happy to share their Louisiana culture with you. Walk-Ons, game day with a taste of Louisiana.
Last spot on the break here, 30
HD
seconds.
Roofing and Construction, proud to be Central Arkansas owned and operated, offering free inspections, insurance claims assistance, a huge product selection and the highest standards in Arkansas. Whether it's minor repairs or a full roof replacement for your commercial or residential property, they'll provide you with quality materials, craftsmanship, warranties, and cost-effective solutions. Call today, 501-428-0429, or get a quote at hdarkansas.com. HD Roofing, proud to be the official roofing partner of UCA Athletics.
We're talking Bear football tonight on the Nathan Brown Show, presented by Walk-On Sports Bistreaux in Conway, and broadcasting live from their location at 955 South Amity Road.
Play action. Myers over the middle. Caught for a touchdown. Easy peasy. And he found his receiver wide open, Durham, for a score. Too easy. Great sell on the play action. Ty Durham's second touchdown of the year.
All right, welcome back. Final segment tonight from Walk-Ons. Again, next week, normal time, we'll go back to our regular 7 o'clock slot and go until 8 o'clock. And we are looking forward to this week, Coach. You're going to head out to Utah. Not an easy trip. It is always long. It's going to be a little cold. And I think the precipitation, at least this year, is going to move out on Friday, so we're going to be fine.
I think so.
Had a long delay last year and an even longer walk, I think, for your team.
Yeah, it's a unique setup. You never know what you're going to get into in FCS football sometimes in visitor locker room setups, but that's a unique one. You could see us probably coming over from the horizon. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it was a long walk for sure. It was almost like going back to the Montana game years ago when you guys walked over for that one. It was not quite that far, but close. All right, so I'm looking at Saturday here. 52, partly sunny, but by the time we kick things off, it's going to be nice and cold. Low is 38, so
Ooh.
Some of these Southern fellas that you got on your team, Coach, are not going to be loving that. But like you were telling Jacoby, once we get going, I mean, you're going to be loving it because you're going to be hot, sweaty, and you're going to dig that cold weather, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, that's something you really just see that like pregame, right, or the night before when you get there and all that. That's where you see the effects of the chill. But I think once you get out there, you get going, your adrenaline's flowing. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's raining, windy, whatever it is, sleet and snowing. I mean, you just playing ball, and I think that's the mindset we've got to take.
Absolutely. Let me play, Todd. I think we got one more here from Chambers. He put you guys up, got you to 31-27, and I love this run. It was such a great job up front, and you guys got stonewalled a couple of times, I think, on that one, and then he found his way in. So again, stick-to-itiveness from the offensive line, good play call. And a really nice cut. And, again, it's just the little things, I think, that Chambers does that maybe he doesn't get enough credit for. Todd, do you have the Chambers TD?
No, sir, I'm sorry I don't.
Okay. All right, no worries.
Reenact it.
Chambers scores, touchdown. I have to watch it again. But anyway, it was really good. I thought it was very nice.
So a little backstory on that. So we've had a lot of success with our big package stuff. So we add an offensive lineman in the game, 6 offensive linemen, a couple tight ends, just big people. I mean, essentially it's a Jim Harbaugh, it's old Stanford big people package.
Yep.
And they got us. The first 2 plays they stoned us. Good adjustment by Coach Boykin, my O-line coach, from the back end, seeing, hey, let's gap scheme this, let's block down, pull around, pull Will Diggins, obviously big boy, 40 games as a Bear, and Landon did a great job setting up, being patient, getting a cut back, and he was basically untouched.
Yeah, he tiptoed through the tulips, I think is what I said. So
did you really?
Yeah. So it was very impressive. I mean, it was just so easy to get in, but that's nice when it's schemed up right. Boy, that's I mean, and for a coach, I mean, that's got to make him just thrilled as an offensive line coach when you see your running back get into the end zone untouched. That's got to be just get you, all wound up. It's exciting.
Well, and I mean, in the magnitude moment of that play too. I mean, I think that put us up maybe in the third quarter or right there, put us within a score or something. But big moment in the game, and obviously Coach Boykin puts a lot of time and effort and energy into our run game, and to be able to see some of that fruit be rewarded, that's a big deal.
We're going to see the best 2 running backs in this league. I don't think there's any debate about it, playing against each other this weekend.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, Joshua Dye leading the UAC 167 yards a game in conference games alone. He is top 2 in the country. He's over 1,500 yards. And I went back, and so I was watching the Southern Utah-Austin Peay game, getting ready for the game this weekend. And, boy, he kept flashing over and over again. He's a pretty special back. They do a nice job with him.
He is. I walked back into the defensive staff room this afternoon. I'm so locked into offense and staying engaged with them and getting a game plan together. I walked back, asked Coach Williams, I said, how's 28 look? He said, well, he looks like 28 in the NFL. He looks like Marshall Faulk. I mean, like he's good. And the kid he's consistent. Obviously, they've got an identity there at Southern Utah with their offense. They always have. Coach Delane Fitzgerald does a great job with that program. They're hard-nosed kids, tough kids, and man, it seems like they roll out backs every year. I mean, the kid they had last year was a Walter Payton Award finalist. We went with David to the Buck Buchanan Award when he won it, and got to meet that kid. And he graduated, so you thought they'd have a drop-off. Well, no, they've just gotten better.
Well, the number 2 running back in the country for rushing touchdowns has 18. He has 22.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's been pretty good this year.
Unbelievable number.
And Bronson Barb, their quarterback, pretty experienced too. So going to be a tough one. Again, late start. Let's do our quick 2-minute drill here, Coach. And you're under the gun, so you got to score quick.
All right, let's go.
Free gas or free food, fast food for the rest of your life? What are you taking?
Gas.
Okay. We did Would You Rather last week. It went over well, so we're going to do it again. Would you rather have your name tattooed on your forehead or have no front teeth?
No front teeth because I can get fake ones.
Okay. That's what I thought. Would you rather be 8 feet tall or 4 feet tall?
8 feet tall.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be short.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you that again when we get on the plane this weekend.
Now, that would be brutal. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's
travel would suck.
I've asked Joe Klein that a few times. Would you rather be like 6'2" or something? He's like, no, I'm fine.
Ask Layton Jeffcoat what a bus ride feels like.
Oh, my gosh. I can't imagine. All right. There you go. You did it quick. That was good. Easy 2-minute drill this week. All right. So we will leave early, looks like Friday morning, and then you get out there, shake everybody out, landing in Cedar City, which is nice. Not everybody does that.
Yeah, a lot of people stay in Vegas or around surrounding areas. Being in Cedar City, the elevation, being acclimated to that for 24 hours is a big deal. Obviously, the convenience of going right into Cedar City is a big deal. So, had success doing it this way 2 years ago. Hopefully we get the same success this time.
Keys?
Well, I think one, bottling up Dye. I mean, he's special. I don't think you're going to contain him the whole night, but again, the guy's got 22 touchdowns. Can you keep him out of the end zone?
Yeah.
Make it tough on him. Can you make their quarterback beat you? I mean, that's the goal. And then for us, it's making plays in critical situations. That's what we haven't done. Why we haven't won the close games. Why we've lost 3 road games by a combined 7 points this year. Critical moments. Are we gonna rise up during critical moments, or are we gonna cower down in critical moments? And so we've got to practice it. We've got to try to imitate it, but we've got to do that to have success.
Well, we know Southern Utah is a physical team. It's going to be a cool night, and it's going to be a road game for the Bears. So this feels like a 4-buckle game, Coach, for the chin strap this weekend.
I'm just glad to see the end of this 6 of 8 on the road.
No doubt.
Come to an end.
Yes, the stripes are looking fresh. There's no doubt about them. And we're looking forward to being back there next week. But this weekend's going to be a good one. 7:30 kickoff Central Time, 6:30 pregame. Tune in on the UCA Radio Network. For Coach Brown, Todd Pierce back in the studio. Justin Acree, thanks for being with us. And we'll join you next week, normal time, 7 o'clock here at Walk-Ons. Good night, everybody.
Nathan Brown Show has been presented live from Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway and brought to you in part by Moix RV, Fairfield Inn and Suites, HD Roofing and Construction, and Highland Dairy.